Does menopause cause foot problems? So the short answer is yes, we see lots and lots and lots of it through our clinic. Make sure you watch this video. I'll tell you why it does affect you, why you can do something about it, and how you don't need to be ignored about this. And then a great exercise or a great couple of exercises on what you can do about it yourself at home. So my name's Daniel Fitzpatrick from Sydney Foot Solutions. We see stacks and stacks of women who have been through menopause and their foot problems have been ignored, or they're told they've just got to put up with them, or they've just got to do something about it, or they've got to be stuck in orthotics. But the good news is we can get around all of those problems. The reason I'm making this video is I have this conversation all the time with some of our lovely female patients. And I find that particularly once they've been through menopause and had some hormonal changes, it does affect the muscles within your foot and does cause more foot problems. And that portion of the population is very prone to foot problems, which is part of the reason I'm making this video. And I hope this video is helpful. So we see stacks of it. And a common sort of story we hear is of these foot problems. I feel unstable on my feet. I wasn't always like this. I'm getting pain. I'm getting aggravated. I don't want to be stuck in orthotics. I would like to wear a variety of footwear. Occasionally, I would like to be able to wear barefoot or go and wear a pair of high heels or whatever. So the great news is we can help with that. And in fact, we see stacks and stacks and stacks of it through our clinic. If you would like professional advice, click on the link below. We've got a 60% initial assessment offer underneath. If you are struggling with foot pain, and this sounds like something that you fall into this category. So why does menopause or hormonal changes affect your foot? So the reality is that I'm no expert on the hormonal changes, but I am an expert on feet. In fact, we have 200 sets of troublesome feet come through our clinics every week. And I've been a podiatrist for over 20 years. And what I find is that particularly because I work in the field of helping people become less reliant on orthotics and getting out of orthotics, and that we see lots and lots and lots of this. And so what we find is that people who have had hormonal changes in their body, or women who have had hormonal changes in their body, tend to get an atrophy of the muscles through this area here. And as a result, their foot doesn't work quite as well as it once did. And often they've been to their GP or been to another health professional and they've been told there's nothing you can do about it. I would strongly disagree with that. In fact, we have loads of examples of where you can positively help this and get really good long-term results. And I think it's really important to be aware of this simply because if it is ignored for too long, it can cause all sorts of secondary degenerative changes through the middle of your foot here. It causes a high level of degenerative change through that area because your foot's collapsing all the time and causing all sorts of other problems. And so it comes down to realigning somebody's foot and then strengthening the relevant tissues. And in fact, we do that stuff all the time for people. So if you get nothing else out of this, just be aware that you don't have to ignore it. It's not your fault. And the reality is there's lots you can do about reversing some of those sort of foot changes that you might associate with hormonal changes or menopause. I'm going to show you 2 exercises now to start strengthening your feet back up. They're really handy. We've used them in our clinics for a number of years and had really great success rates. And what I would say is maybe you might find that you do these exercises and they only improve you somewhat. If that is the case, then I would strongly encourage you to seek professional advice. So the first one, you get yourself a towel and put it on a step. So a nice thick rolled up towel, okay? And then you put it on a step like this. So the purpose of the towel is to flex your big toe. So if you flex your big toe, it'll help to turn on all these arch and these ankle muscles through this area here, which is often one of the very common areas that we see starts to atrophy, as in the muscle starts to weaken and diminish, allows you to internally rotate. So the way we do this one is that we put our toes here like this, and then we go down, 1, 2, 3, and then up, 1, 2, 3. And we use this to strengthen through your ankle and your arch. You have to use the towel, okay? It's really important to use the towel to flex the toes. Go up and down 10 times once a day. And what that does is it helps to turn on all those muscles and turn on all those tissues. Another one that you might like to try is the toe crunches. And what we do, so you're almost making a fist with your foot. So you're just going 1, 2, 3, back down. 1, 2, 3, back down. And it's really strengthening up all of those tissues and turning everything back on. And we find both of these pretty effective as part of our treatment plan. So I thought I would share them with you today because it strengthens all through those tissues. Often when we find that women after menopause get a significant atrophy through that area, and it leads to a number of secondary issues. So I hope those exercises were helpful. Just keep in mind though, if you are getting pain or problems, I would strongly advise you to seek professional advice. If you haven't been to our clinic before, we do offer an initial assessment offer. It's 60% off, just $40 to come in and get your foot checked out, whereas we can give you individual advice to what your needs are. I hope this was helpful. I encourage you to like the video and subscribe to our channel. We try and come up with lots of helpful tips so that we can improve your overall health.